So I always do I work on a very target orientated, like, kind of life plan. I always have to have goals. I can't just plod along. I always have like some kind of idea of what I want to do in the next couple of years.
Right.
And then therefore it always feels like I'm working towards something rather than losing my focus, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. And so even though you work a year or two and save, that's plenty of time, you still seem to do a lot of traveling in inexpensive places to stretch the funds you have, yeah?
Yeah. See, North America isn't actually the most affordable place to travel.
Correct.
But Central and South will make it easier and it will kind of even out for me. But yeah, sometimes I go places just because I have this kind of, I've just thought about it or heard about it and then I get this kind of fixation on it.
Right.
And then other places I do go because yes, I know it will be affordable and just as enjoyable.
I heard you yesterday, I asked you if you keep a daily budget in mind, and I remember you just saying, no, I just basically try not to spend money at all.
Yeah.
Is that right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, pretty much. I only really will spend money on something that I've really wanted to do, or like I said, say if it was like a real local cuisine or local tradition.
Like tacos last night.
Yes, like tacos and fried brownie.
Fried brownie in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to. I do skimp on food, I'd say is the main one.
Yeah.
And then accommodation, I'd say is the second one, in terms of the cheapest I can get.
When you say you skimp on food, can you explain that a little bit? How you do that?
So the best thing to do is a hostel like this. They give you free breakfast, whether it be pancakes, whether it be bagels or whatever.
Yeah.
So I tend to get up early when the breakfast is available. I will have my breakfast, but then I will make things for lunch or maybe and dinner. So
pancakes and bread all day long, is that it?
Well, yes, it's not the best thing, but for a couple of days, you realise that you haven't spent any money and you've just been living off that.
Well, I did notice too that this particular hostel, that at least one morning they brought in somebody brought in a whole bunch of fruit.
Yeah.
Which of course eases the stomach a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of hostels get really good donations from things like the bakery.
Yeah.
But that's one way of doing it, and then also, sadly enough, things like $1 noodles,
Right. Top ramen type thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I quite like, I know it's not very healthy, but $1 McChicken sandwich, I think that's brilliant. I get meat, I get a little bit of lettuce.
Yeah.
And it's a hot meal. It's $1.
There you are.
That is, I don't know, something like 70p.
That's
pence.
Yes, indeed. That eating like that or living like that's pretty empowering. Would you say? Is that a right word? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like, I don't know, it gives you like a sense of control, I think, and then it really gives you a complete sense of appreciating when you do actually decide, right, for actually spending a bit of money on a really nice meal.
Right.
So it kind of keeps you, grateful. And also, yeah, it's quite empowering, like you say. It's quite empowering that you're just, that there's a reason why you're budgeting and you're doing it because, say, if you bought a meal a day, that technically could add up to maybe, a week's more of travel.
Yeah.
You have to kind of weigh it up like that.
Pretty amazing.
And also, there's so many little tricks. It's awful, actually, backpackers, I don't think probably, they're quite cheeky, really.
Yeah.
They're like magpies. So say if there was a really big bottle of shampoo or a big bottle of conditioner,
yeah,
you have the little travel ones, you just fill them up.
Indeed.
Just silly things like that.
Any other handy hints, practical advice?
So the toiletry one and the food one, just talking to people, because the amount of times so the more I travel, I tend to meet people who then either live in the places that I'm going to. So when I went travelling last time, it was 10 months, and by the time I got to my last couple of months, I don't think I stayed in one hostel, because in Vancouver I stayed with a lady who I'd met in Portland, Oregon. In Toronto I stayed and was taken around all these amazing places by a man that I'd met in Fiji. So basically, the more you talk, the more contacts you make, the more friends you make.
Right.
Then they open up their houses to you.
So is it safe to say, since, okay, so you're traveling for 12 months, you probably covered a lot of territory, excuse me,
Yeah.
that given the generosity you just described, do you think generally around the world people are generous? Do you think they are open,
Yeah,
let's say?
I think so. I think also the type of person who does travel and the type of person who backpacks and the type of people you meet in hostels, they kind of have this similar mindset where they want to just, meet different people, have different company, talk about the world and talk about places. So I'm not sure if you can generalize the whole world, but
Right.
in terms of people that you meet in hostels and people that you meet traveling,
Right.
they tend to, I don't know if they'd be generous to a person in their neighbourhood, or if it's just because they've been in your situation and know how nice it is to have someone
Yeah.
who will take you in and, show you more of a local perspective.
Nice.
So,
A little bit ago I heard you throw in the word gratitude.
yes.
What does that mean to you? Why is that important?
Oh, I think it's just important to be grateful for anything.
Yeah.
Because, if you stop being grateful for things, then you won't appreciate anything. And, I realise I'm very lucky to travel,
Yeah.
and I don't take it lightly. So.
You are lucky, and yet it also must be acknowledged, I'm sure, that traveling didn't happen by accident for you either. This is something you decided you wanted to do, and you arranged your life to make it happen. Am I
Kind
right?
of, yeah. Even when I was choosing what profession I wanted to go into, I remember thinking, I knew I wanted to, for some reason I had a calling that I wanted to be a nurse, but also I remember thinking it would be a job I'd be able to travel with.
Yeah.
So even from a young age, even when I hadn't particularly done any backpacking, I knew that I wanted a job where it would be feasible for me to travel. So I must admit, I thought in it in more of a way, once I got my degree, I could, go to different countries and nurse. But it's kind of worked out that I can leave nursing and go back and allow that travelling to happen. So it's not quite the same as what I thought, but so it's definitely been something I've always thought about. I don't know why. My older brother went travelling, but he wasn't sure if he thought it was a positive experience or not. I don't think he had as much luck. I don't know if it was luck.
Whatever that magic formula is, huh?
Yeah. But so I don't know if it was that. I don't know. I've always been intrigued about places.
I'm sure most people who would see this video would also say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So Meg, I want to wish you great travels.
Thank you very much.
And good luck, and glad we met.
Yes, it's lovely to meet you.